What is going on, guys? Merijn here, and welcome to the video. Today is just gonna be me and this plan. Sounds very sad. Sharing some stories with you guys, like an update. And this was just a random idea, a random impulse that I just got. I felt like when I shared my feelings back in Dubai, that video just a lot of people resonated with it, or got something out of it. And sometimes it just feels good. Like, I just feel like I have to get some stuff out, some lessons that I've learned that might help you in a certain way as well. When I went to Dubai, I was feeling very down. That's why I went to Dubai. If you didn't know the story yet, you can check out that video first.
I'm not feeling my best. On social media, it's just very superficial. There's just a lot of people, and especially on Instagram, only showing you the good and the flashy and how cool their lives are.
And so I also wanted to give you kind of like a mental update on how am I feeling now, right, compared to then. So after Dubai, actually things started feeling, they felt real good after Dubai, and they're still feeling real good. And I feel like I had more time to process certain things and think about certain things. And I feel like the last couple of months, they have impacted me so much, in crazy ways, man. In like ways that you start thinking differently about, about life and about what really matters and what is important to you. And I feel like those lessons that I've learned, I want to share those. I think that some of you might resonate with that. Some of you might then realize like, oh shit, like, maybe he's right, maybe I should. I'm not going to name an example yet. I'm sitting here on my couch with this plan. And this is not actually a couch. It's an old mattress that is here in the living room. It's one big mess here because I'm currently in a workflow. But that's the current situation. So guys, before I get into those stories, I feel like I want to get something off my chest first of all, which I don't know if this helps anyone, but it's just been freaking crazy. A couple days ago, I hit someone. I hit a motorcycle, scooter. I didn't see him coming. I went out of a parking spot, and I hear this bang, this loud bang, and I just knew that it was my fault, fully own up to it, which obviously he was driving maybe fast on the wrong side of the road, whatever. I still know deep down, in that moment that I didn't look like I looked, but I didn't look, as specifically as I should look, as should be standard. And man, I cannot explain. I honestly thought for a second that I thought the worst. I thought I killed this guy, or at least that he's injured. He has something. And so I get out of the car. A lot of yelling, screaming, things like that, which is obviously logical. Afterwards, he apologized. Real nice guy. Really amazing. The way he did that, because I felt so bad, man. Because as I said, I knew it was my fault, and I saw his life flash in a weird sense of way, and it was just like, it can just be over like that, One little me not looking as I should have looked, perhaps, or whatever, being in a certain corner, and all of a sudden, life could be, gone like that. This is just insane. So anyway, I hit him. I get out of the car. There's an ambulance guy. Shout out to him if you're watching, because afterwards he told me he knew the channel. Real nice guy. He checked him first, and an ambulance came, police came. The whole street was full of people, and I just really thought he had something real bad, because he had pain in his leg, and he said he didn't feel his leg anymore. And so eventually it just turned out that that was all the stress and panic and the shock. Obviously, I hit him pretty hard. Turned out all fine. He is fine. I texted him one day later. I texted him the next day just to make sure that he's okay. It's still, man. I've never been afraid to drive my car, but right now I'm actually afraid to drive my car. I'm just constantly thinking how it must be for him, And I've been hit before when I was on a bicycle. then I didn't have anything either. But I also thought, like, but with that said, you know, he is okay. And when I heard that, like, that was such a relief, such a good feeling, you know. I almost don't think I've ever felt as bad as I felt those couple days ago. I honestly think that I felt the worst that I've ever felt in my life. Yeah, just for like the minutes that it was, you know, because it wasn't like that long, maybe 10, 15 minutes, and like I just didn't know what to do, and it was chaos, and I got back in my car, I just like broke down. Like, and I'm not looking for any compassion, by the way. I'm just sharing the story with you guys. As I said, like, I know that I should have looked better, and then still, like, you know, people tell me that, you know, it can happen, and yes, it can. Two people at the wrong place at the wrong time, perhaps. But still, if he did have something, then the whole situation would obviously be different, right? But that is why I felt so bad in that moment. So it's not that I still feel as bad now, but in that particular moment, I cannot explain how that felt, you know. So that was a couple of days ago. Now, as I said, you know, it shows that life can be over in a second. But another message I want you guys to get from it is to please be very careful and cautious when you are driving, you know, especially for scooters, because they can just like get out of nowhere. And maybe this is just all very illogical, but when it doesn't happen to you, you don't. I don't know, when everything always seems to go right, you never expect something like that to happen, and then all of a sudden it happens, and it's just, you know, everything is just different all of a sudden. And so I'm not gonna lie, I'm not perfect when it comes to that, and it's also teach me a lesson, like I would never, like, again, like, be on my phone while I'm driving, because that's something that, you know, regularly do as well. I wasn't on my phone like this time when I hit him, all right, then it would have been a lot different, and I wasn't on my phone. But I would now still, like, not just regularly be on my phone in the car. It's just stupid. You need to be very, you know, cautious while driving. Now I feel like just like that, a couple tragedies have happened like in the last couple months that have just shown me different things. And obviously tragedies are relative, like, you know, so for someone else, like, I haven't been through tragedy, all right? My life has been really fucking easy. And I'm completely honest to say that. My life has been super, super easy, you know, and I think, like, in general, for a lot of people here in the Netherlands, but especially for me, I have a loving family, you know, was raised well. All those things were, you know, in my favors. And so that's something you start to understand more too, you know. And yes, obviously I work hard and I do all this stuff, but I'm still very lucky to be, you know, in the position that I'm in the first place. Something that maybe in the past I didn't think about too much, but that is certainly true. And therefore, as I'm saying, like, many people have been through way worse tragedies, but like, that is still all relative, you know. So a tragedy might feel different to one person than another person. So yeah, like, I don't want to name names, but you know, the person closest to me, one of his family members, started to really, really go bad, but it was already like going back for such a long time. Alzheimer's. If any of you guys, definitely some of you guys, you know, have family members or whatever with Alzheimer's, it's terrible. It's no words for it, man. It took literally years of, like, just slowly, you know, like, I cannot even imagine how it must have been for him. And so slowly I started to try and, like, put myself in his position, and it's just, and, like, understand, like, for him how that must feel. And obviously you cannot even grasp the idea of what that must be like. At the same time, another really good friend of mine had a burnout, hard time, and then my grandma died, and she was, like, old. She had a really good life, and she didn't have pain at the end. So that was all peaceful as far as that went. But the moment she died, I just started, like, thinking about like how my mom must be feeling, and that is the first thing I thought of. And it was so painful, man. It was like my grandma had a really good life, and she was old, and those things happen. Like, that's just the way life is. But I directly, like, placed myself in my mom, and I was like, you know, like if your mom dies, like, you know what it feels like. And the person I was talking about, you know, with Alzheimer's, passed away not much longer. And so all those things happen in the same, like, a lot of people multiple people that are, like, literally closest to me, I started, like, realizing that, you know, when it all comes to an end, what is really important, you know. And all these events, they all kind of happen at the same time, and then I started feeling down, kind of at that same time, like, a little later as well. And so all those things together, and now I've just had a lot of time to process everything, man. And I also feel like in the last couple months, some of those lessons that I learned, seeing Alzheimer's slowly taking their life away as well, it just made me, realize that I should be, way more grateful. I should be spending more quality time with my parents. And the last couple of years, that has been a little less, which also has to do with, when I was with my ex-girlfriend, we spoke English. So, we were kind of always together. So when we were at the house, I spoke English with my parents, but that's not our original kind of relationship. So I was a little bit of a different person at some stage as well. So I don't know. I just feel like after that all, plus this realization that it can just all be over. And then what is really important, man? What really is. I just hope to shed some light on that you guys will understand that for yourself as well. It's some things that I've never given much thought, and I don't have to feel bad about that. It's just the way that it is. It's just probably getting older and learning lessons and learning real life. As I said, life has just been relatively very easy in a certain way, and for everybody that is different. You might learn those lessons earlier or later. But yeah, man, so like looking back on a video of me and Dad like building his home gym, man, and seeing how much fun we're having together, and something that those things are priceless, man. Those are the things I talk about, I remember. The trip with Stan and Man to Ibiza last summer. Stan has always believed in me, and he's always been helping me out on different aspects, with life and business and everything. And this is just the true example of a real friend, a brother. And that is what Stan and Man is. And cheers. Yeah, bro. And I get emotional, bro. I mean, it's been a long fucking journey, and Stan has always been there for me. He's always helped me out, and life is just the fucking best it could ever be right now. Those are the memories, man. That's what it's all about. And then last week I was with Willem and Luna, and just had some really fucking deep chats, whereas they really tried to pull things out of me, and I feel like that really got me thinking as well. About what do I want and where do I want to go, and just a lot of thoughts, man. But in a good way, and it has changed my perspective in a way. Having this conversation where they were pretty criticizing on certain things that I do or decisions that I make, which shows that they are real true friends, because that's what real friends do, and not many people. I can't say people do that in my life. Tell me what I could do better. Or that they disagree with me, and it's something that my brother also does, and that's awesome, man, it really is. And I also told Willem and Luna, we were having a conversation, who were you inspired by? And I am inspired by, a lot of, obviously a lot of these people online that I follow, and people in business, and all those things that I am interested in. But I said next to that, man, I'm inspired by, my parents. I find it awesome the way they go through life. My parents have been together for a very long time as well, and yeah, man, they're just positive people, man. I don't think they also had the really down periods, and so I feel like, sometimes I don't know, man. I go through freaking very high highs and then lows, and there's also a middle way, but I just cannot, it's just not my life, man. And so that's where I guess, my parents and my brother are, they're a bit different in terms of that. I feel like I just have to go the extreme. And that does make me happy. It really does, I love the high highs, I can cry out of happiness, of things that I do, of stories that I hear from people that I help, or whatever it is, man. Some people might think that that's cringy as fuck, And so those are kind of things that I want to share, some lessons that I've learned and that you can hopefully learn from. If you don't spend enough time, quality time, it doesn't matter how much time, but it's about quality time, with your family. Try to work on that, do so, and it doesn't have to be all the time, but just the quality time. At least for me, it's made a difference, Something I would normally not stand still by. That's a Dutch word, but something I would normally, but since these things happen, man, perspective has totally shifted. I have some really, really good friends around me. I don't have that many friends as most people do, with the friends that I do have. It's another level of connection, man. And yeah, man, things to be grateful for. I'm currently pretty much 24/7 in this office space here, working on my new project. And that's also going to be a shift in the things that I'm going to do, which I'm super excited about, super stoked. Yeah, that's why I wasn't actually planning to upload a YouTube video. So this will be a random video, and then there might not be another video for a week or so. This needs to have my 100% focus. I don't want to, like, you know, put too much pressure on myself again. And there's already a lot of pressure on me now. Like, I'm almost not sleeping that much right now to finish this project, right? So one thing at a time, because otherwise, well, it's still 5 things at a time. But otherwise, it's 20 things at a time. So yeah, guys, that's an update from my side. I love you guys, man. I honestly do, man. And as I said, like I don't want any like compassion. That's not what I'm looking for. I just want you to like get something out of these lessons, right? Hopefully, or that you resonate with it, or maybe you find it interesting, that like perspective shift. Maybe you had the same thing. I have no idea, man. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I feel like it hits people. I don't know. If it does, please let me know in the comments. And please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. See you very soon. Much love, guys.
This complications spin my mind, but I know I gotta keep pushing through. Yeah, I keep doing my own thing. Yeah, never looking back again. I can get it, I can make it, yeah, I know it, and I'm never looking back again. Yeah, never looking back.